exactly is the Spirit Halloween store? We talk about it in pretty much every single video on this channel, but I pretty much just assume that you guys know what it is, and I'm sure, most of you do. But for new viewers who are watching the channel, or maybe people who just subscribed to me within the last year, you guys may not actually really be sure what Spirit Halloween is or how it came about. Even if you have been going to the store, in the past few years, you pretty much may not know where did this all start? Because I think I was kind of early to it, not as early as some of you guys out there. And so today I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of a breakdown of what the Spirit Halloween store is, a little bit about its business model, and where it got its start. So, Spirit Halloween was started in San Francisco, California by this guy named Joseph Marver. It was actually started a long time ago. It was started in the year 1983, I believe, just as a pop-up costume store. And he first opened it in this mall called Castro Valley Mall. So the original store was a mall store. And it was pretty much just a pop-up Halloween store. I don't think at the time he was selling many animatronics. He may have been selling, lots of different decorations. But yes, by the time it was acquired, which we'll get into in a second, in 1999, he had actually opened 60 stores nationwide. So the guy was a freaking great businessman and, started this all by himself and created kind of this business model that wasn't really seen before of the temporary pop-up Spirit Halloween store. So like I was saying before, Joseph grew his business from one store in 1983 to 60 in 1999. And this caught the eye of a larger mall retailer that went by the name of Spencer's Gifts. So this is Spencer's that you guys see pretty much only in malls. I don't think they operate any stores outside of malls. And they kind of theme themselves as this gag gift store. In the back of the store, you may find some inappropriate things. They do sell some adult things, so I don't recommend going in there if you are underage. But yeah, they're a very interesting collection of things. I've been in one personally myself. You'll see them. They kind of have this like graffiti, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like this city theme, urban feel to it, with the brick wall on the outside. On the inside, they have lots of different knickknacks and things. Like I said, they do sell adult products, but that's not exclusively what they have. They have lots of different shirts. Like I've seen that they have Rick and Morty merch these days. So they're always just kind of having some like cool gags and gadgets and whatever. So kind of random, but I guess maybe they took interest in the costume idea. There is some similarities in what they sell in a way. Spencer's isn't really themed toward Halloween, but they did end up acquiring the business in 1999, and then in 2003, this dude, Steven Silverstein, became the new CEO in 2003. So I don't know who was the CEO in the period between the acquiring by Spencer's Gifts and 2003. So they acquired in 1999, and then there was a 4-year period till 2003 when now Steven has been the CEO from then until the present. So I don't know how much they paid our boy Joseph, but I hope they gave him a pretty penny because I don't think anyone really knew quite what he had created. I mean, he did create a successful costume store with this pop-up business model that operated 60 stores, but nowadays they have 1,400 stores yearly and pretty much dominate the pop-up Halloween game. And are worth millions and millions of dollars. And I'm sure that Spirit Halloween has actually become, a bigger seller and a bigger revenue maker than the original Spencer's store. So I don't think anyone necessarily expected that to happen, but Spirit Halloween really has become quite the anomaly. So Steven got in to a good gig. Spirit Halloween has become infamous for taking over abandoned storefronts in the midst of the retail apocalypse. We've seen JCPenney, Kmart, Sears, all of these big brands pretty much fall through the cracks and go bankrupt. And so there's a lot of empty buildings out there as, in-person shopping has kind of fallen out of style. And Spirit Halloween has become known for taking over those stores and just anytime there's something that goes out of business, you bet your bottom dollar that there's going to be a Spirit Halloween there when it comes September time. So yeah, we are in the midst of the retail apocalypse amongst giants like Amazon. Pretty much if you're not Amazon or Walmart, you don't really have any hope in the marketplace. So it is kind of sad to see, but it is just the truth that with all the e-commerce that we have going on right now, it really has become a difficult business climate out there to run a brick and mortar store. So Spirit Halloween is one of the giants that has been successful at this. Basically, what they do is they do ship their stuff annually to all of these abandoned locations. I don't know how they go through the process of deciding which abandoned locations to take, but as you guys know, it's not always consistent. They do jump around to different locations. You can't always expect them to be in the same spot. They basically have a system pretty down pat where they ship all of these boxes out to the different stores. I don't really think that the people that work there have much of a decision or a choice on what they're going to be getting. They just kind of get these shipments. I only know this from my experience working there. I'm not going to know everything because I was only a sales associate, but I was there when we were getting these shipments of trucks, and they basically just are stuffed with boxes, and you got to scan all of the boxes, bring them in the store, figure out what the heck is in them, and set them up. So the store is pretty much based around, the shape of it is based around these pegboard walls. So really whatever size store that you get doesn't matter because they always kind of have them set up the same with these pegboard walls. Even if you're in a giant warehouse, there's pretty much a maximum size to how the store is going to be set up. It's pretty complex, and I don't know how exactly they do it, with all the ins and outs of how different buildings can be a little bit different, but that's where I guess the individual managers have to make their own decisions. But they send you all sorts of stuff that you have to pack up on these walls. They have pictures on the walls that show how the walls are supposed to be set up, and that's done by some of the people that have worked there for longer. But I did help them set up the pegboards. They didn't really have me in there when they were setting up the themes. I worked there in 2018. They didn't have me in there because they were worried I was going to take pictures and videos, which I probably would have. So honestly, smart of them. They're very secretive. They don't want their secrets to get out to their other their other competitors like Party City and Halloween City. But what is obvious is that they do also have the themes that come in boxes, which I did see, and it'll say on it, like I said, Spirit Acres Farm. And they have these big, wide boxes of these pallets of these cardboard slabs. And basically everything is made out of these cardboard pieces that have these interlocking tabs. And there's all sorts of different instructions and stuff. Like I said, I wasn't allowed to work on the themes because they were worried I was going to take pictures or whatever. But it's pretty obvious they're set up with sometimes wood where you have to screw things in, and then most of it is based around cardboard. So that's how they get this whole, experience, in-store experience and storefront set up inside what was previously abandoned. And this process happens pretty quickly. I think we started doing this in July, and I don't know if it was like the whole month or if it was half the month, but you basically set up the store in July. So all the stores kind of start getting set up in July. A lot of you will know this because you go and look through the windows and stuff. And then in August, they all start to open. So the stores are open August, September, October, and then those are their main months. They obviously make the most of their money as you reach the peak in October, and then they close on November 2nd after a 2-day 50% off sale on November 1st and November 2nd. So they got this system, down packed. They do the same thing every single year, and they get it done pretty efficiently, which honestly, I'm surprised. It's definitely something that's hard to micromanage, but they have all sorts of different managers at different levels. You got your store manager, your regional manager, your district manager, who all kind of keep tabs on how everything is being dispersed and sent out. But it's definitely a big, complex process to set the whole stores up, take the whole stores down, and repeat again and again and again. But they have been good at it. They have 1,400 locations, which is the most they have ever had. And as you can see here, I couldn't go without mentioning that they have become a meme in recent years, and all of us Spirit Halloween fans have been like, yo, that's our store. We've been fans of this for years and years and years, but they've gotten a lot of notoriety for the fact that they have been taking over during the retail apocalypse. They pop up in everything. When the government shuts down, there will sure as hell be a Spirit Halloween there. So it's kind of funny how much they really do take over when those months come. They just literally open up in everything because there's so much abandoned space right now, which really does kind of work to their advantage. So I'm sure a question that comes to a lot of people's minds, especially business people, is why has Spirit Halloween been successful opening up in these same locations in a mall or out in a brick and mortar building where another store completely failed? So they're in the same exact location. How has Spirit Halloween been able to go in there and actually make so much revenue to where they can keep doing this and funding this operation year after year after year? Well, I think I have a theory, and the theory to that is number one, it's temporary. So there's an incentive to get there and see the store because you're not able to go there and have the in-store experience all year round. Number two, they place a lot of emphasis on their in-store experience. They call the themes ISEs in the company because that is what they are meant for. They're meant to actually give an incentive for you to come into the store, and maybe you just go there because you're a fan and you want to see what the Halloween factory looked like this year because maybe, for example, HTJ Halloween talked about it, or because you saw it on their Spirit Halloween YouTube channel. They do lots of promotion for these kinds of things. That's why they're trying to really reach out to the fandom. And then you go in there and you just want to take a look and check out what the theme looks like in person. Well, now you're in the store, so maybe you just want to buy this light, or maybe you just want to buy this skull that you see, nothing crazy, but their prices are freaking high, by the way. So I think, that also has to do with something in their business model. I don't know how they're able to have the prices so high, but apparently the supply and demand works for them. So I think that's really what they're able to do is, a couple different things. They are able to have that draw in because they are an in-store experience where you actually want to go in the store. It's also based around a holiday, so it's kind of something people want to go see. Maybe you want to go in there to try on your costume, which is honestly more important than even trying on clothes, because if you order from Shein, it's like, whatever, I get this large, it'll probably fit, but with your costume, you really want to know what it looks like, not just because of the size, because you want to know, which one you think will be your favorite. People want to see the animatronics. There's huge fandoms for those, so that pulls in the whole family. If one kid in the family wants to go in there and see the animatronics because they're a fan, now the whole family's there, and now the brother wants to get a costume. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of incentive that they use to their advantage to continue to operate amongst the retail apocalypse, because Spirit Halloween is a place you want to actually go, unlike JCPenney, where I'd rather just order that shit on Amazon. So Spirit Halloween is going to incur a little bit, well, not a little bit, probably a lot of bit of a transportation and setup cost, and also teardown cost, because they have to pay these employees for setting up when they really aren't actually making the store any money yet. So there's definitely a cost that they incur, but I think it comes at the greater value of not having to operate the store all year round. So obviously, some stores like Party City do operate all year round, when I think they make kind of the majority of their money during the Halloween season, but they have to still pay and incur costs for employees and rent and all of that stuff all year round. So that's another thing where, even though it may seem kind of obvious they're a Halloween store, they take their stuff down because they sell exclusively Halloween. It makes sense they wouldn't want to stay up exclusively Halloween year round. Still, they're saving lots of money, not having to pay a dime throughout the whole rest of the year, even though us fans still make purchases throughout the rest of the year from these big expensive things, because they have this like super fandom. And you know what they say is that 20% of your audience, or 20% of your customers, make you 80% of the revenue. And I feel like that's even more true for Spirit Halloween, that really has this cult following that purchases very expensive products. So I was actually surprised to see that Joseph founded the company in California, because now you guys know that the company is based in New Jersey. I don't know if this is because that's where Spencer's was based, but either way, now they are based in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. That's where their flagship store is. That's where the people who do, like the guest online issues, answers those questions, all that kind of stuff, is also located there. They have an office building right to the side of this building where they are the people that do the Dr. Zombie stuff. And this is the flagship store you're looking at here. It was actually set up in an abandoned Circuit City. I don't remember when they moved to this location, so I apologize for not having that knowledge. But this is a very huge warehouse-sized store, and they have the flags, they have the pumpkin on the top sometimes, and this is, that store that you guys see me film when I go and do my flagship tour. Now, what exactly is the flagship store? So the reason that there is this big, stink around this flagship store is because, number one, it opens first. So typically, maybe you'll have one or two stores who for some freaking reason have opened first. It's a huge operation. They can't keep everything in check. But this store typically opens very, very early in late July, which, like I said before, most of them open up about 2 weeks into August. So this store is open first, and also it's set up first. I believe they have everything set up in probably June. They might even be starting to set it up now, honestly. I think it kind of stays set up for the most part year round. Like, I don't think they ever take the walls down, because this is the Spirit Halloween store. They never get rid of this location, so they do pay to own this location year round. And this is where they actually do like the initial setups of everything. This is where the pictures are taken, because you do have, when you get the ISCs in stores, if you work there, you do have kind of like a manual with pictures of how it's supposed to look, so you can copy the pictures, and those are all taken here. This is also where the theme videos that they put up on their website are officially released. And also, I want to ask you guys, I do not see the 2021 theme videos. Did they never release theme videos, or am I just tripping and not able to find them? Please let me know in the comments, because I was kind of like, why do they not do that? Those are always classic. But yeah, so this is where they have all of the, props that were the originals. What are those called? The prototypes that were filmed in the official videos. At least that's what's rumored to be true. I mean, I'm sure some of those break, so it's not what they have the whole time. But that's what, everything here is set up very, very early. And this is actually where they take a lot of the district managers. They take a lot of the district managers or zone managers or whatever, and they actually bring them all here on, I think, July 4th or around that time or something, for them to all see what the store is supposed to look like in person, so they get a better understanding of how to manage the setup of their stores. So it's a very interesting process. It's very much like a family, I think, for the people that have been working there for a long time. Like I said, I only worked there 1 year, so I don't have a huge amount of experience and knowledge on how everything is run. I just worked there as a sales associate for 1 year in 2018. I do highly recommend working there if you guys do want a job. Obviously, it's temporary, but it's definitely something good to have on your resume, and if you enjoy it, it's a fun store to be in. If you're going to do retail, it's pretty fun to do. But that's, as much experience as I have. So if any of you guys have been longer workers there and have a lot of experience and want to share your thoughts and how it's been for you in the comments, please feel free to do that. I'd love to read it. I'm sure others would as well. So go ahead and do that if you would like. But yeah, this is the Flagship store, which is why everyone likes to go there and see it, because it will always have all of the props and all of the themes set up exactly how they are supposed to be set up, because as you guys know, there's a lot of variation. Every Spirit Halloween store might look a little bit different, because you don't know exactly what they're going to get shipped to them. They're not necessarily going to have everything in at once. They might not be the full size. So that's also kind of the beauty in this model, is that not every store is exactly cookie cutter the same. It's kind of up to some of the local managers' discretion. One last piece of information I'll add to this analysis of Spirit Halloween, the company, is that I think they have a warehouse in New Jersey, but I don't. I think they have an office in New Jersey where they come up with a lot of the things, an office building. There may be a warehouse there for their New Jersey stores, but I do know that their main warehouse is located in Charlotte, North Carolina, where they have like literally everything. I'm sure they have other, offshoots and warehouses in different locations, so they don't have to do as much shipping and stuff. So they're going to have, other branches over in the West Coast and everything. But that is one thing to note, that if you're on the East Coast, you'll probably get the fastest shipping, because that's where everything is located. But yeah, they definitely have other warehouses and things to kind of support their other stores. But I do want to know, if any of you guys live in California, if any of you guys live in Canada, are their opening dates typically later? Are they typically in September, or do they always do it in August? I just would be curious about that, because it seems like they got to ship everything out to the other side of the country, because at some point, it all starts in North Carolina. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this Spirit Halloween breakdown. But one last thing I did want to add: who is HTJ Halloween? Who am I in this whole Spirit Halloween equation? Because I do get it a lot from people in person and online that think, if they've seen my channel, think that I must work for Spirit Halloween. I think this is a common belief amongst pretty much everyone, and I totally get why. I mean, I literally pretty much only talk about Spirit Halloween. I promote all of their things. Some people I've heard even thought I was the official Spirit Halloween channel. I do have more subscribers than them, but I do want to just set the record straight, and I just thought of this now, that this would be interesting to say, is that I do not work for Spirit Halloween. I actually am completely independent and not associated with them whatsoever, aside from my affiliate link. But that is something that everyone can apply for, and they did accept me, a long time ago when I had way less subscribers than I do now, but I'm not actually sponsored by them or working with them, as in I don't think I'm contractually obligated to anything. But I mean, not even that. I think a lot of people just think that I'm being sent all these props and that I'm working hand in hand with them, that I'm in touch with them, and that's just not the case. Spirit Halloween doesn't talk to me. I don't have any connections with the people that work there. Honestly, I have less connections than I think some of the other haunters in the community, and I do purchase all of the products that you've seen on the channel with my own money, with an exception of that in the past, in like 2017, when there was that huge menacing Molly mix-up, they sent me a couple free things, I think just to kind of appease me, but either way, that was sweet of them. But aside from that, I mean, every single year I spend all of my money on those props by myself. So That's just one thing I did want to clear up, is that I don't actually work for Spirit. I'm not employed by them. Aside from when I did work there in 2018, but that was just a regular sales associate job. Now, obviously, I did probably have some privilege there going into the job because it already looked like I was this huge sponsor. And so that's probably, helped me get the job. But other than that, I mean, I worked the job like any other regular sales associate, and it wasn't, any sort of in that I had that led me to go getting the job. And that was just, like I said, just a regular sales associate position. And I only worked there for the 1 year, kind of because I did really enjoy the job, but there was a bit of conflict of interest because then I was actually contractually obligated to, not speak on certain things. And that wasn't really a great experience, because I want to be open and honest with you guys on this channel, and that's part of the reason that I am able to do that, because I don't have any contracts with Spirit Halloween. The affiliate link is simply a link that if you do purchase on it, it does give me a percentage of the sale just because I led you to that sale. But aside from that, I'm not contractually obligated to do anything for them, and nor do they reach out or speak to me. So that's just something that, I'm not upset about or don't have any sort of belief or like feeling on. It's nothing I ever really think twice about. I just do this channel independently, and I've enjoyed doing it for the years that I've been doing it. And I do obviously love Spirit Halloween. That's why I talk about them so much. But yeah, just for those of you that were wondering, I'm not a, big wig CEO or something in the Spirit Halloween business. So this was really just my take from an outside perspective of what I do know. In one addition, sorry to keep going on this, but I just thought I'd also say this, is I feel like a lot of people probably think that I must know what the themes are for this year already. I probably have already seen all the props. Heck, I probably even know the theme for 2023. I mean, I feel like people think I just am in the company and really know everything, and I'm kind of like on here just pretending to be a regular person, but even that isn't the case. I don't know anything until it's really made public information, unless someone else like leaked it and sends it out. I don't find these things out really until you guys do. So I know some people probably still won't believe me on that, because it does seem kind of shocking and crazy. But I mean, I'm just being open and I'm just being honest with you guys. So that is the case, that I am sitting here just as a regular individual, learning about this stuff as it comes out and reacting to it as it comes out along with you guys, which I personally think is more fun than having it all be spoiled. But I know even with me saying that, a lot of people still won't believe it, which is all fine and good. I don't feel any type of way about that. But aside from that, I thought I would clear some record on that, as I'm, in the general sense of talking about Spirit Halloween as a business. But other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy this analysis of the company. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this, but also please be sure to insert any information that you guys know, because I know this has a cult following of the store, so I'm sure a lot of you might have something to correct from the video or add. And also, of course, if you work there, please let us know your experience and stuff that you know as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you guys in the next one.